I wanted to start off by saying this is my second time recording this. Originally, y'all, I wasn't even gonna smoke, but my camera didn't record anything. I was sitting here just talking away to the camera, and it was not even recording. Like, I thought it was recording, but it clearly wasn't recording because I went back to try to find the footage, and there was no footage to find. Just when I thought, like, oh yeah, I finished it just in time, yeah, all that. No, I did not. So, nevertheless, anyways, welcome back to another Saturday story time. I think I'm going to change it to Saturday session. Comment down below if you think I should change the name from Storytime Saturday to... I can't even see me here. To Session Saturday. So today, as you can tell by the title, this is part 2 of me going to jail. This is when I got expedited from Utah to Texas. So now, like I said, they don't tell you when you're going to be expedited. They come and get you last minute without no kind of notice, no nothing. And when they come to get you, they shackle you. It's not like just regular handcuffs like when you go into jail. It's a shackle. They make you feel like an animal. They make this trip so cruel that you never, ever want to do this again. You know, like never, ever, because that's how I felt. After that experience, that's how I felt. Like I never wanted to put myself in that type of predicament ever again. Ever again. Like, no. That was horrible. So anyways, they handcuff your hands together and they handcuff your feet together. And so you gotta, penguin walk around. And your hands are always at your side. Like always in front of you. So they just like, damn. So arms are down the side and your hands is just like right here. Right in front of your lap. And they put you in this van. And this van has no windows. So you can't see out. You can't see what time it is until they open the little flap to feed you. Then you can see, the sun is out. It's there's no sun. It's nighttime. So other than that, you get nothing. Nothing at all. And so they don't tell you where you at, where you going. If you have to pee, it's a group thing. They have bathroom stops. So like every couple hours, they pull over at another jail, another county, another prison. They don't care as long as it's a jail facility. They stop there. They take you in to use the bathroom. They uncuff one hand and then you get to go pee. You wash your hands, do what you got to do, and then come back. And then they handcuff you right back like regular. So now, on this bus or this van, it's two sides. It's the man side and it's the woman side. And then on the man side, there's 2 in the first cart. And then there's like 5 to 6 people in the back cart. And you're still shackled just the way you are. And you have on the clothes that you got arrested in. So if your panties is 66 days old, well, you just gonna be wearing 66-day-old panties. And that's just that, If you can't hold your pee and you pee on yourself, oh, well, them the pissy clothes you're gonna be wearing the whole time, They don't make exceptions for nobody. They don't make extra stops for nobody. If you have a medical emergency, you're going to have to wait till they get to the nearest jailhouse. Because that's who's going to take care of you, a jail nurse. Not taking credit away from jail nurses. They dope as heck. I had to see a couple of them because I caught this flu when I went to Linwood in 2014. That's a whole nother story. But I told y'all that story already. So if you want to know about that story, just go back to my first video. And I tell y'all about how I originally started becoming a criminal, I guess you could say. Nah, I'm not a criminal. I am reformed, okay? I am now domesticated. Okay? Do you see me? Do you see me? Yes. But anyways. So, if you wanna go to the bathroom, it's no special stops. Like I said, it's at their rest time. They get to stop and take it to the bathroom. And if you don't go to the bathroom when you have to go to the bathroom, oh well, you just won't go to the bathroom at all. And you don't have to hold it until they decide to stop again. Or they schedule it to stop again. Okay, so bathrooms. Okay. So anyways, they take you there. So they drive. My van trip was a total of 5 days, okay? So 5 days sitting on metal, because it's not like cushion, it's not like the car, it's just a slab of metal. And there's a bar gate that's right in front of you. And there's a hole in this gate because they feed you 3 times a day. So what they do is in the morning, wherever they at, they'll find somewhere to, pick you up food. You get like 2 burgers, like 2 cheeseburgers and a water. You'll get like 2 muffin sandwiches and a water. For dinner, you'll have 2 more cheeseburgers and a water. And that's it. So you still hungry? Oh well. You don't like that? Oh well. It got pickles on it. It got onions on it. It don't got enough cheese that you want. It ain't a double. It ain't a triple. It ain't a combo. Like, they don't give a fuck. Let me say that one more time. They don't give a fuck. They don't have to give you nothing. Each person a day, I think the state paid $6 each for each one of us. And I know you like $6 is enough for you to get a combo, but they don't feel like that's enough to get a combo. So they get you 2 burgers and a water. No soda, no flavored drinks, no none of that. You get in water. And the air conditioning is blasting 24/7. On top of the air conditioning blasting 24/7, there's a camera watching you 24/7. So not only can the driver see what you're doing, but the jailhouse can see what you're doing, like the state. They can see everything. Like I said, you shackled 24/7 no matter what. You have to eat like this because your hands can't go that far apart. You're going like maybe this far out. And so you shackled. So like if you want to drink, your chains is coming with you to drink, like y'all are one. You got to get used to it. And it's not a lot of space. And you sitting on metal consistently. Like you only can get up to go to the bathroom. You can only get up and stand up and stretch your legs when they taking you to the bathroom. Now, the drivers drive for a certain amount of days and then they stop and rest for a certain amount of days. When they stop and they rest, they have to drop you off at the nearest jail. So you have to go jail hopping until you make it to your destination. And that's just that. So we get to this jail in Oklahoma. I'm assuming that this jail was really meant for dogs or baboons, hyenas or something, because let me tell y'all, child, they painted on brick. That first and foremost. So at night, the walls sweat. So you getting up in the morning, if your shoes is on the floor, if you left your pants on the floor by accident, if you kicked your blanket off the side and it got to the floor. Well, now it's wet. Now you can't, you got to hang it up to dry, and it's freezing cold. It's in the winter time when I got arrested. So it's freezing cold. It's snowing outside. So you need this blanket. And mind you, the blanket they gave us smelled like mildew, for one. For two, it had a bunch of holes in it. So you already not secure. So to get it wet was just, you don't want to do that. And so the mat that I had, it was a twin size mat, like a little yoga mat. And half of the cushion had been taken out. So now not only do I got a holy blanket, but I got half a bed too. So the top part of my body got to sleep comfortably, but the lower part of my body was sleeping on metal for 5 days straight. So I'm in the van for 5 days, but they leave me before I'm in there for 5 days. I'm there for 3 days in the van, and then they take me to this jail in Oklahoma, and I stay there for 5 days. Mind you, I still can't call my family. I still can't let nobody know what's going on. I still have no real rights. I have no amenities. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how much my charges hold. I don't know anything. I'm like up in limbo right now, like whoop whoop, right there I am, And so it's stressful. It's mind bothering. And on top of that, you're surrounded by women who you don't know. Everybody crime is different. Everybody's, story is different. So it's like to have to sleep next to somebody who could have killed 5 people, is right there. Somebody who did bank fraud is right there with you. You really never know nobody's story. You just know that they there with you, so anything could happen. And then you're not even in the jail that you're supposed to be in. You're in a whole nother jail. So what if one of they inmates get rowdy and want to come and stab you up, just because they don't like you? Anything can happen. And so it was stupid. I hated it. I will never do it again. I promise you. I am a domesticated woman, y'all. I'm not going back at all. Anyways, so I stayed in Oklahoma for 5 days. Mind you, on top of the walls sweating, the walls are now mildewing as well as sweating. So we're just breathing in stank ass mildew every single day. So now when they bring us our food, somebody stands right in front of the door and they hand you your food. In the cell that I was in the transport cell, there was 3 beds and there was 5 bodies. So I had a bed, this other girl had a bed, another girl had a bed, and then I said it's 5 bodies, and 2 girls were sleeping on the floor. So yes, the floor that gets wet at night, they had to sleep on it. Oh well, they gave them a mat, but they mat was, if not worse than mine's, just as bad. Some of they mats smelled like mildew itself. Some of the blankets smell like mildew. It didn't seem like they had washed those blankets ever. The clothes stunk like they never washed it. And mind you, we're still wearing the same undergarments that we got arrested in the beginning, days and days and days and days ago, So this is like, it's just crazy, okay? I'm there in Oklahoma for 5 days. And out of the 5 days, I was there 3 days before they even let us shower, okay? And mind you, we don't have our own personal hygienes because this is not our jail. This is somebody else's jail. So we don't have soap, we don't have towels, we don't have nothing. So they have to provide this. So now they bitching and complaining because they got to give us these things. So mind you, our blankets smell like mold. The room smells like mold. The bed smells like mold. There's mold growing out the walls. So I don't know why I expected my towel to smell like something different, So nevertheless, we got moldy towels to wash with. Yep, sure did. That was like, hey, this is what happens when you want to be a criminal. We treat you however we want to, and it ain't nothing you can do about it, okay? So that was inhumane, to say the least. Like, I don't ever even want to visit Oklahoma State because of that jail. Like, they showed me y'all true colors, and I don't like them. They dark, they kill my vibe. I just can't do it. I didn't like it. It was horrible. That was by far the worst jail I've ever been to. And I don't say that like I've been to a whole bunch of different jails, but you guys know when I caught my case, I was in LA, so I've been there. And then when I went to Texas, so I've already been there. And then when they picked me up, I was in Utah, Beavers, so I've seen them. So I've seen 3 jails, and I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is jail. But Oklahoma, uh-uh, uh. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They horrible. Oh no. Y'all pray for Oklahoma. Comment down below if you know somebody who's ever been to jail in Oklahoma, or if you've ever been to Oklahoma, or if you've ever been in jail in Oklahoma. Let me know what your experience was. See if you had the same experience I had, or maybe a worse experience, a better experience, or whatever. We family, let's interact. So after that, they picked me up on the 5th day. On the 5th day, I got back in the van. I was in a van for 2 days before we made it to Texas. So once I got to Texas, they booked me in all over again, like a brand new, like a brand new inmate or whatever. Even though I had already been there before, they still book you in like new. So they book you in like new. They take your clothes back. You get to keep them same raggedy, nasty panties that you've been having, though. You get to keep them. Oh, and the bra. Don't forget the bra. You get to keep that raggedy motherfucker too. Okay? All right. And no, they do not give you bras and panties. So if you came in there with no bra, no panties, well, you wearing a jumpsuit with no bra, no panties. And if you catch a period up in that time frame, well, oh well, because they only do laundry once a week. Okay? So mess your clothes up if you want to. Okay? You get only 2 jumpsuits for the whole week and 1 pair of pajamas. So you only wear the jumpsuit when you want to go eat, or when you want to come out yourself. Other than that, I was literally up in my jumpsuit maybe, I don't know, y'all. But I didn't really wear it. I wore it to go pick my breakfast up, get my lunch, get my dinner. But I stayed inside of my room. I had a dope ass bunkie. Joycelyn, hey girl. That's my sis. That's my sis right there. So, I had a cool bunkie. So we stayed inside the room when we talked, and I read my Bible and she read her vampire books. And we would talk about both of them together, and we would have, a little fun time. And other than that, she made time seem like it was going by fast. So out in Tierra Blanca, because it's a small city, the judge only sees 5 cases, and he only comes out to do cases once a month. And he goes in alphabetical order. So at the time that I had got rearrested, I think he was on I want to say he was on D, and my last name starts with a W. So they were anticipating that I wouldn't see a judge for about 3 to 4 months, while I was there. So even though I was innocent, in my eyes, I was innocent because they never notified me of a warrant. They never tried to contact me. They never anything. And they did have my information, if you're asking. I did make sure that I called up to the court. I only did it once a year, but at the time I felt like, that was good enough. I gave them my information. They had my information. They never contacted me. They never reached out to me. They never anything. So I felt like I should have already just been released. I never should have even gotten arrested, you know? Because it's not my fault. That's y'all fault. Y'all didn't do y'all job, you know? So nevertheless, I still suffer the consequences. So that didn't matter, rights. That don't mean nothing. When you commit a crime, rights don't mean nothing. Nothing at all. They feel like they can treat you any kind of way, talk to you any kind of way, feed you anything. When I tell you anything, they want to feed you anything, okay? just crazy. It's just jails is not what it's supposed to be. And I don't think like jails is supposed to be all fancy like a hotel, like a stay or anything like that. But I feel like people should have the regular things that they should have, you know, like their food should be cooked all the way. It shouldn't be cold when it comes to them, you know. They shouldn't have hard food to where they can't even eat, or just anything, you know, like just do people how you want to be done. You know, you don't want somebody feeding you some half-baked food, you know, half ground beef. You know, you want your food cooked thoroughly. You don't want to die. You don't want to catch salmonella. You don't want to get food poisoning. You don't want to be on the toilet. You know, you don't want any of those things. But those are the type of things that you have to deal with when you go to jail. Like, it just is what it is. And I realized that. So, about 15 days in, I was sick of it. I couldn't take it no more. Like, y'all have to understand, like, at that present moment, me and my boyfriend, we was not even seeing eye to eye. We was arguing, we was fighting. So it was just like, that relationship was dead. So not only am I in jail now, not only do I have to spend the New Year's in jail, but I'm also fighting with my man who I should be spending my holidays with, you know, fighting and all, you know, I'm supposed to be with him. I'm supposed to be under him. And that's just not how the cookie crumbled, you know, it just, it didn't work that way. It didn't work out that way. So hey, it is what it is. So anyways, I'm in there for 15 days and I get to, you know, interacting a little bit more with the other girls that are in the tank with me. And one lady, she had been there for a while. She was older. She was like in her 30s. I say that like she's so old. She was like 37, 38 or whatever. And she had told me that I could write the judge, I could write the public defender, I can write all of these people, and I could get the information from one of the lieutenants or whatever. And so I had to send a request to talk to the lieutenant. Then when I get to talk to the lieutenant, so that was day 15 that I wrote the lieutenant. Day 16, she came to talk to me. She pulled me to her office. I spoke with her. I told her that I wanted the information. She told me she was going to get it back to me. Day 17 and day 18, she hadn't gotten back to me. Day 19, I wrote her again to ask her, you know, maybe if she had forgotten. So then she sent back the information that I needed. And so I ended up contacting the judge. After I contacted the judge, I contacted the public defender. I informed them that I was never informed that I needed to come to court. I wasn't notified properly. They didn't go through their proper chain of commands. I informed them that I had a job at the time, that I was working full time, that I was a manager. I let them know about my child, you know, that I am his sole provider, that he is disabled, that he needs his mother, you know. Stability, you know, is something that he needs. Schedule is what he needs, you know. And at the time, he was in Las Vegas with my sister, and he just wasn't used to that, you know. So I wanted to be home with my kid because that's my kid, you know. I birthed him, that's mine. I should be the one taking care of him, you know, not burdening my sister with the job of having to take care of yet another child, you know, that she ain't even birth at that too, you know. And so I ended up going ahead. I reached out to all of them. After I reached out to them, maybe 2 days later. So we at what, day 1920? I speak with the public defender. The public defender tells me that he's gonna try and get me in to see the judge, let them know how urgent it is, and go from there. So it took from 20 to 33, day 33, and that's when I went to see the judge. I went to see a judge, and he read all my paperwork, saw that I wasn't notified, and allowed me to get out on the same bond that I was out on in the beginning, and just asked that I give them all of my current information, make sure that they had it, get the public defender's information, and just frequently stay in contact with them. So that's what I did, and I was able to leave. But what they don't tell you when you leave is, like, one, they don't give you money. Two, sorry. Two, on top of them not giving you money, they just drop you off in the next town. So Sierra Blanca is a small town, so it doesn't have anything really besides the jail, and a checkpoint. So don't go over there. But so the sheriff takes you to the next town over and just leaves you, just kicks you on out. We got let out at this gas station, truck stop, Subway. Yep, all of that in one. And next to it was a hotel, and next to that was another hotel, and then a dirt field, and then a shelter. And then, like, some stores that had closed down that are no longer up anymore, just a building, that. And it was like deserted. You didn't see very many cars come up and down the road. It was just like the middle of nowhere, it seemed like. And so I got let out with a group of people who were really nice. I can't tell you what their names was because I don't even remember. I just remember that I got let out with two girls and three guys. And so one girl, she left, and I don't know where she went. And then the other girl, she stayed. She ended up getting money from her dad. She got a room. I ended up asking her if I could stay in her room because I didn't have nowhere else to go. She said I could stay in her room. The guys ended up getting a room at the same hotel that we got a room at, and then they just got a room like not far from where our room was at. So earlier that day, I had told them how much I wanted to smoke and all that stuff. And so I overheard them talking about some drugs. And so me being nosy and the pothead that I am, I'm thinking, this might be my opportunity, So I go over there and I'm just like, oh, y'all got some, y'all got some drugs. And they're like, yeah, we got some drugs. And I'm like, ooh, y'all got some swishers? And they like, swishers? What? What? Huh? Why? Why would we need swishers? What are swishers, So I'm like, well, what drug do y'all got? And they got some meth. Y'all, I told y'all I didn't know these people. I just went and go spend the night in this hotel with this woman because I had nowhere else to go. It was snowing outside. I didn't know what else the hell to do. I had to, I had to survive, And so when they realized that I was uncomfortable with them doing meth, the girl was like, hey, y'all, let's go to your room instead. So then the girl went to the boys' room, and she ended up just staying the night in there with them, getting high and stuff. And I stayed in the room by myself. So in the morning when it was time to check out, she only had enough money for it that day. So I already knew that the first night that we were sleeping in the hotel. So I was already Googling like shelters and homeless assistance and places that could help me in my situation. So I ended up finding the homeless shelters number that was right up the way. And I called them, and at the time that I called, they were closed. So I left a message, and I let them know that I was going to be calling them back again. And so I ended up calling them back again the next day. They said that all of us could come down there and we could take a shower. They would give us clean clothes, clean undergarments, new undergarments, and winter clothes, because we had no winter anything. We only had on what we went to jail in. So depending on how long some people were in jail, that depended on the type of clothes that they were wearing, and a lot of them were not arrested in the winter, so they didn't have on winter clothes. So we got to go to this shelter. I can't even remember the name. Y'all, I tried to blank out as much as this as possible because, ooh, child, this that was an experience that I wish upon nobody. So when we're getting put out of this, well, not put out, but it's checkout time. So it's time for us to leave this hotel. We have nowhere else to go. And now it's a snowstorm. So we're walking in a snowstorm from the hotel, past the other hotel, past the dirt road, all the way to the homeless shelter. We get to the homeless shelter and they give us clothes. They let us shower. Everything that they said they were going to do, they did. And they even helped me get a ticket from well, my ticket was from there to California, because I told them that I had to get to California because at this time, you guys, now I've already been in jail for 33 days plus, so now this is 34 and now wake up 35. So I know that it's already overdue for me to see my probation officer. So before she puts out a warrant for my arrest, I need to go see her, so I'm not getting rearrested again. So I have to find a way to leave Texas to get to California. So they ended up getting me a ticket to go from Texas to California. When I get to California, I see my probation officer, I do everything that I need to do. I ended up not having to go to Vegas to pick my baby up. My sister ended up bringing my baby to me in California. So now all I have to do is figure out a way for us to get from California back to Utah. For what you say, right? Because, my boyfriend broke up with me. We've been fighting and all that stuff, right? But who cares? I love him. I want to be with him. So now I'm about to go big. You heard me right? Mm-hmm. You heard the Temptations? I know you wanna leave me, but I refuse to let you go. And so that's exactly how I felt. So nevertheless, I'm trying to figure it out. So I check in with my probation officer. I stay in California for maybe a good 5 days. So now, y'all, the days is adding up. Mind you, I only have the clothes that I got from the shelter. So my best friend pulls up on me. She bring me some clothes, she bring me some shoes and all that stuff. So bam, now I got more stuff. Now I have at least a week's worth of clothes. So even though I had to wash my clothes often, I still had clothes, So anyways, so I had those clothes. I'm doing cool. I check in. Now I'm figuring out, like, how am I going to get from California to Utah? So my best friend gets me a ticket from California to Utah with me and the baby. So we go back to Utah, but we don't have nowhere to go. We don't have anything at the time. Like my dad, me, and his girlfriend, we just wasn't in a cool place. So I couldn't go there. So I really didn't have anywhere else that I could go in Utah. I couldn't go to my ex-boyfriend's house, because even though I said I loved him and I was trying to beg to be back with him, he was not feeling what was going on. We still had things that we had to work out and not necessarily work out underneath the same roof. So I ended up calling my older sister, and she was in Utah at the time, and she had a hotel room that she was paying for monthly. So I ended up going there with her, staying with her for a minute, and it became a lot because it was me, her boyfriend, my son, the cat, and we were all in just one room. And so we were sleeping on the floor. That's annoying, people going over you to go to the bathroom and you having to move and just a bunch of craziness. So nevertheless, at night when my sister had to go to work, we had to go downstairs in the lobby to wait for her to get off work. And so one lady had seen me there, I guess, more than her fair share. So she decided to come ask me how come I was always in the lobby around the same time. And, with my baby. And so I explained to her a little bit my situation and how things were going. And so she decided to get me a room. So they paid up my room for about a month. And then they ended up reaching out to this church, and this church ended up helping me for like maybe 2 more weeks. On top of that, my sister had ended up helping me, and then I, of course, got my own money. And so, with having my own money, I was able to pay for the room up until I needed to. And that wasn't my first time being homeless. That wasn't my first time being at the bottom. That wasn't my first time any of that. So it wasn't like a breaker. It didn't break me. But that whole experience, being in a blizzard, being in a shelter, having to get, hand-me-down clothes, like even though the undergarments was new, like the pants I was wearing wasn't new, the sweatpants I was wearing wasn't new, the jacket I had on wasn't new, so it's like, and I don't know who wore these clothes before me, although they do wash the clothes and stuff there, they cook for you there, and they do everything right there at the house. It's like still, you just never know. So it was a humbling experience, to say the least. I was stripped of all of my morals. Like, you talk about some crazy stuff. We didn't have tampons. We were making tampons out of pads, y'all. Where they do that at? In jail. Up in jail. And so it was just like, it was crazy, y'all. But it was a learning experience. I learned to not ever do that again. Don't be extradited, Commit your crime where you at. No, I'm joking. Don't commit crimes. That's the whole objective, to not commit crimes, to live a good life. But y'all, I'm domesticated now. Like I keep on saying, I am domesticated. Your girl is back, and she's better. What happened to me in my past doesn't define me. What I do now and where I am now is what defines me for who I am right now. So comment down below if you guys want me to start posting content on different days. I'm already thinking about doing it, but I just want to know what you guys think. What content would you guys like to hear? Let me know. Let me know down below, anyways, I was thinking maybe like some vlogs. There's a couple like food places out here that I want to try. Maybe take you guys along with me. Maybe do a day in the life of a stay-at-home business owner or something. Maybe just vlogs of me talking. Maybe some confessionals. Y'all, I done dealt with a lot of things, I have had sugar daddies, y'all. I done had tricks that was like, could you step on my balls with some high heels? Can you hold the keys to a cage that's on my penis? Yeah, some crazy stuff. So if y'all want to hear some of them crazy stories, y'all want to hear some crazy high school stories, let me know. If you know me and you want to know of a story of an event, you want to know the front and the backs, comment down below. Let your girl know. Because on here, I'm nothing but truthful with y'all. Y'all family. Now, y'all more than family, y'all, because my family be switching up on my black ass. So, y'all more than family. So, keep in touch. Let me know what y'all thinking. And again, thank y'all for spending y'all Saturday morning, y'all 40 minutes with me. Have a good day.